Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin Hippos. This is Star the Flippin Hippo. Today is Monday, February 25th, so that means it's time for What Sold on eBay. I don't know about you guys, but our sales all last week and over the weekend were disappointing. They were pretty bad. We had a good weekend last weekend. As you can see here, we had 29 eBay sales and 5 Poshmark go out the door Tuesday after the day off of shipping last Monday. And that was pretty good. We had more than our average sell-through rate as far as volume sold. And we had a lot of big ticket items go. And we thought that that was going to be the trend going into the week. And then for whatever reason, sales petered out. You can see here that on Wednesday, we only had 4 sales in 3 packages. Little tiny hippo for a little tiny stack in that picture. And then on Thursday, we had 5. And on Friday, we had 5. So pretty consistently coming in 2 to 3 items below our average sell-through rate each day. And then this weekend was just awful. We had 16 items go out. Now, granted, we did do our shipping this morning rather than this afternoon. Typically, we do all of our shipping at like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we would have sales from Friday at, say, 2:30 through Monday at 2:30. And today we packed them up pretty early, around 9 or 10 this morning. But this was still really bad for a weekend for us. And I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Just keep in mind, it's all relative. For some folks, 16 sales might be amazing. It might be the best weekend you've ever had. It might be a goal for you. And then for other people who are more established or do more volume, 16 can be really bad. It's just relative to your business. For us, with the amount of listings we have and our historical sell-through rate of 0.5%, 16 for an entire weekend is bad. There's just no way around it. For us, those are not good numbers. Fortunately, even though the volume was really low throughout the week, and after last weekend when things started to go downhill, we did sell a lot of items that were more expensive or higher dollar, so it kind of averages out. We're selling less volume, but more higher priced items, so like our average sale price is higher. But kind of the goal, especially with us and our business, we want to keep the volume as well as sell the higher priced items. So you guys know I've been talking about how we're dropping dead inventory off and sending it to auctions to liquidate it, and we're getting better at sourcing and stuff like that. So we are raising our average sell price and trying to sell those higher ticket items, but we're also trying to, keep our volume at our historical 0.5% sell-through rate, or even higher if we can. So, things aren't like, oh my gosh, this is terrible, we have to go out of business bad. It's just the volume is really, really low, and it's kind of disappointing. But on the other hand, we're selling items for more money, so it kind of averages out. And then hopefully we'll just hit like some kind of a plateau at some point as we continue to drop the dead weight and list more items. We'll get to a point where we're selling those higher priced items at a higher volume. So I have a couple of windows open here to show you guys some of the highlights of the week. We're going to start with these Disney Winnie the Pooh characters. I had one buyer who bought all, there were 6 of them. I had one buyer who bought all 6. Now, we found these over the summer at a little flea market. This lady had them out, and they were like $1 a piece. And I picked up all that she had. She actually had 7. One of them was broken, and I thought I could fix it. So I did try to glue him together, and that just did not work out. But the funny part is, these came home and then they got lost. They were wrapped up in a bag, and a bunch of stuff got moved around when we moved our eBay room downstairs. I want to say like right after eBay opened, sometime in August. And these just disappeared, and we didn't see them for the longest time. And when we started going through all of our I don't wannas and our death piles upstairs, I found the bag that these were in a couple of weeks ago and listed them. They sold in a couple of weeks. So it's kind of like, oh man, they sat around that whole time and they would have sold that quickly, but that's okay. They still sold. And so there were 6 of them. We paid $6 for all, and she paid $88 for all. We took best offers from her, and we gave her a pretty good deal because she bought all 6. So her total price was $88 for all 6 of these characters. This is the December. I really wish the lady would have had all the months, but you know, we bought out what she had. She did not have them all. There were others that were broken. The one I brought home was April, and he had an umbrella, and the top of the umbrella was broken. And I thought that I could fix that, but the others that she had that were really broken or damaged, we left behind, and she was missing some too. But you can see here Piglet, and this is probably my favorite, this little October one. And this is cute too. So yeah, these were cute. They didn't have any markings on them as far as where they were from or their brand or anything. I just kind of made up a price for them. And like I said, because she bought all 6, we gave her a good deal. We gave her all 6 for $88. They were right at £1, I believe, all wrapped up. So they still went like first class. So let's look at some of the other highlights of the week. This we're still awaiting payment on, but it did actually sell last night. We accepted a best offer of $11.75. This Boyd's Bear came out of the yard sale that last summer, where I brought home like 75 stuffed animals. They were all Boyd's Bears, Winnie the Pooh characters, and some of the Harley Davidson and Hard Rock Cafe bears. And he was in that lot as well, this Tigger. I think it came out to like 77 cents a piece for every single animal in the lot. We have since made our money back, and all of them that are now selling are just profit. Tigger went in a poly bag wrapped in tissue paper. And then this one I just recently purchased and was actually in a haul video. She has been up in the store for less than a week. She's a Five Nights at Freddy's doll. We did get the $15 for her, and she went in a 5x5x5 box with a little bit of bubble wrap and tissue paper. These Nike shorts, I was actually pretty excited to sell. Nike's kind of like one of those brands that doesn't do as well as it used to. These were 99 cents, and they were new with tags. But they've been around for quite some time. They've been around for a while. And they finally did sell at $20.86. These Mech Buckle Capri pants. I want to say I only paid 99 cents for them. I do know that this is a brand that I will pick up for $7. I'll pay full price at Goodwill for these. Usually if they're the full length. The Capris, you always know you're going to get about $5-ish less. At least that's how I price my stuff. So if I have a brand that I sell always at 30 and I have that brand in Capris, I would start it at 25. I just usually drop about $5 off for the fact that they're Capris. They're not full length. They're usually first class when they're Capris, so they're cheaper to ship, and they're just, you know, they're not full jeans, so I don't charge as much. So I would think that I would pick these up for 99 cents, but I may have paid $7 for them. But they did ship first class, and they did sell for the $23.73. And these shoes I did mention in my haul, or not my haul. I mentioned these last night in my live show. These were the shoes that I gave the example where the buyer came in with a best offer. He started at 10. I went back with 18. He came up, or I'm sorry, I went back with 19. He came up to 14. I went back with 18. He did 14 a second time and said that that was the highest he could go. So I went back with 18 and said that was the lowest I could go. And what do you know? I called his bluff and he bought them. So these went for $18 plus shipping, and they were 99 cents. These are the first pair of shoes I ever sourced that were used. I had in the past bought shoes that we found that were new with tags or new in the box But you guys all know I have an issue with shoes, so it took me a long time to start sourcing used ones. But these were the first ones. And we sold this vintage Fuda coat. This was actually part of the inventory my friend gave me when she went out of business, so this had no cost of goods to us. It's just kind of a cool coat. It's a flag. It's neat. It was 100% silk. It's vintage. I didn't find anything like it when I was comping. I found a couple of jackets from this brand. Some were plain. Some had cool prints like this. Some were silk. So I kind of just made up a price because I really couldn't find a comparable price. And I do that sometimes if I have something and I don't see anything else like it on eBay. You're the only one with the item. You really can make up your own price because you have the only one. And so I did. I went really, really high. I went at 41, figuring it was probably more like 35, but I wanted to price it high and start there with best offers on it. And I did end up taking a best offer of 32, which I was more than willing to take. Like I said, when I listed it at 41, I kind of knew that it was more like I should have been listing at 35, but I like to list high, and it sold overnight. Like, I listed it, and the next afternoon, I got the offer of 32, and I just decided I'm going to let it go. So that was a cool sale. And I wanted to show you guys these. Last week in the What Sold video, I showed you the Ipsy bag and the makeup brushes that I sold that were mine. They came in my subscription box, either from Birchbox or Ipsy. And I don't always keep or use everything that come in my Birchbox and Ipsy subscription boxes. I keep a lot of the makeup. I really like a lot of it, and like the face washes and stuff. But some of the products I just don't use, so I set them aside and save them up. Or in this case, like tweezers new in the package like this, I'll sell them alone. But I do sell off a lot of stuff from my subscription boxes that I don't want. Each box is like $10 a month. So if you sell a couple of things for $9 or $10 after fees and shipping, if you sold 2 things out of each box, you've more than paid for your box and basically got free makeup. Or you end up keeping everything and using it, and it's still worth the money. So these I accepted a best offer of $9.60 on. And then we sold this phone for $150. We accepted a best offer on it, and then it sat around for a couple of days until an unpaid item case was opened on it, and they finally paid and we got it shipped out. So those were our highlights of the week. I was really excited when all 6 of my figures went to one buyer within a week of listing them. That was pretty exciting. And that jacket was cool because it sold like overnight, and I made up a price. I didn't really know anything about it. No cost of goods. That was kind of neat. The Nike new tags, you know. Nike's kind of a brand, honestly, you guys, I don't really source anymore unless it's something really super unique or new at tags. And of course, my plushies. I always love it when I sell plushies. But yeah, our sales, like I said, the volume is just down, but you know, we're selling higher priced items. So you got to look on the bright side. It could be that our volume was down and we were only selling the stuff that we're trying to liquidate and get rid of, and that would be detrimental. So, you know, you gotta look on the bright side. If you're selling less as far as volume, but more as far as overall profit, or if you're selling less overall profit per item, or, you know, cheaper items, but you're selling a higher volume of them and it all equals out, then you just gotta look on the bright side and just, you know, like I always say on Instagram, onwards and upwards. Just keep listing, just keep sourcing really good items, keep your eyes peeled, think outside of the box, get those really good items in and listed, keep your store active, keep your Posh Closet active, and just keep trucking along and the sales will pick up. Online sales are definitely a roller coaster. You will have highs, you will have lows, and you just have to put your head down and really trudge through those slow times and those hard times and just really put your nose to the grind and work through it, and the sales will pick back up again. And when you're having the really good times and you are making hand over fist money, make sure you're putting some of that profit aside, whether it's in a separate bank account specifically for business money or a savings account. But when things are really, really good, you guys, you got to put money away. You got to like build a nest egg for those slow times to carry you through. And that's really all you can do, because the online sales is never going to be always up. There's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. And in the down times, you prepare for the up times by working harder and working more. And during the up times, you can prepare for the low times by saving some money aside or building a little nest egg. But it will never always be 100% amazingly high, making tons of money, but it will never be all the time really bad and slow. So just know when you're having a rough time, things will get better. And when things are really good, they will taper off. It's just an up and a down, and you just gotta work every day the same that you did the day before, regardless of how your sales are going. To see the consistency average out over, your week average, your month average, how much you make a year. Let me know in the comments below how your sales have been, if you guys sold anything really exciting last week or anything kind of neat or different. As always, please like the video before you leave. Those thumbs up really help our channel, guys. If you haven't already and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.